A lot of times I'm driving, there's nothing to do, and I shuffle through the radio before I unglue. There's a lot of red on ways, it's traffic, I'm screwed, and I'm wired a bit different than a regular dude. It's not a bad thing, I embrace it, it's true. The radio don't stimulate brain chemistry fluid. The Buddha found nirvana and the Four Noble Truths. Through a meditative process, right action he proved. For me, I require the use of a tool, a detector, pin, pointer, shovel, and beach scoop. I'm meant to work the dirt with my history crew, but everywhere I look, my interest taboo. Most people choose Bieber over Tippecanoe. What does a detectorist listen to when the radio is full of bad music and news? I need an alternative for me to peruse. Beyond Sight and Sound gets fantastic reviews. A metal detecting show where my thought bubble brews. Thank you, Josh Kimmel, for inviting me to a detecting dork out with guests like yours truly.
All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Hey boys and girls, we are going to talk about S&W shooters and prospectors. What is S&W shooters and prospectors?
We at S&W Shooters and Prospectors help people find treasure.
Did you say treasure?
Yes, treasure. Just listen to this amazing review from our happy customer, Jackie Sparrow.
Chocolate ship-shape and a pleasure to deal with. I was able to buy everything that I needed at prices that were shillings less than others. I found my 9 pieces of 8 in no time. Savvy?
I know you're asking yourself, why should I shop at S&W Shooter and Prospectors?
Chuck Smalley has over 45 years of metal detecting experience. He works with each customer one-on-one to customize their setup to match their skill level.
So if you always dreamt of being a pirate, contact Chuck at S&W Shooters and Prospectors and he'll take a great deal for you.
High passion rum not included.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show.
All right, we're back. We're live once again. And let's see. Try to get my screens arranged here. Figure out what screen I'm on. Oh, it looks like the chat's already flying. Good grief. Wow. You guys and gals are all wired up. Good to see. Good to see. Definitely. Let's get Chuck in here.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? Having a good night.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool is the word. It's down in, right now, it's around, going to be down in the upper 40s here shortly, and then maybe a frost tonight, tomorrow. But the wind is the big factor here. We had 35 mile an hour to 40 mile an hour winds all day. Excuse me.
It's been breezy here. We've got frost warnings out for Tuesday. So it might be time to finish up the gardening.
Yeah, Jill was talking about stripping out everything out of the garden and getting that cleaned up. So, but the other thing is picking up leaves. It's still dry, no rain. We haven't had any rain, and they're still not talking rain for another 7 to 10 days here.
Wow.
Yeah, dry. River's low. Yeah, way low. So it is what it is.
Place for it to go if it falls.
Right. But no, that'd be a good show. I'm interested in listening to hear our sisters and brothers up north and about their metal detecting up there.
Right. Yeah, they get just as excited about it as we do. I mean, and
Yeah.
she's a busy person, and actually for people that follow her posts, she's fixing to start her live streams up again here soon.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Like to
So
listen to some of them.
yeah, she does a good job with her live streams and her videos, and I'm sure that you probably picked up speaking with her before the show. Impeccable audio.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when a guest has such crystal clear audio because it makes my job so much easier in post-production.
Well, I like it when your audio works.
Well, yeah, I like it when my audio works too. That is true. But for those who may have missed the posts or the past couple of episodes that I've been mentioning it, tonight we're actually taking the trek up north. We've got a Canuck on. We've got Liz, the digging Canuck, on tonight. And I'm sure many of the folks in the chat are familiar with her.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see what she's got to say. We had a nice little talk going there before we swung in to go live.
Right. So we'll get her added in here too. And I can get all of my screens rearranged one more time. Hello, Liz.
Hey everyone, great to be here tonight. Got to say, you know what? I've done live streams myself. I've been on live streams, but kind of feeling butterflies today because I don't know. I kind of feel like this is the royalty live stream here. Feel a little humbled. Got to say. Yeah, got butterflies today.
Well, we're like everybody else. We like to sit around and talk some shop and have a good time and hear other people's stories as well, because everybody's got a story.
Yes, that is true.
Yep. So,
and I guess for those listening tonight too, they may want to make sure and pay attention. We've got a little giveaway towards the end of the show, courtesy of Liz.
We do. There's some silver going to be given to a lucky viewer. So there you go.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Definitely.
Heads up, people.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like silver?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was just thinking a minute ago about how many of the little fish scales and early canaries have you found? You find a lot of those, Liz?
Mostly up here, I get large scents. I know that there's some people watching that, probably haven't found a large scent yet, and you may not get them down there, but mostly I do get large scents up here. The fish scales, I do get those. Those don't happen every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I did actually recently, I was on a permission with my friend John, and I dug 2 of them. But those are really rare. And when you dig one, they're really, really small. And you got to wonder how it is that your detector even found it. So very small, very thin, but really, really nice to find. They're 925 silver. So there you go, silver.
Sterling.
Well, definitely.
I've been fortunate over the years. I found a couple fish scales down here in Illinois. I found several of the Upper Bank of Canada large scents.
Mm-hmm.
I found some early Canadian dimes. In fact, the earliest I have is in 1858, found here. And
wow.
The river trail here, there was a lot of trade going up and down early years with trapping and all that kind of stuff. But up there, I was thinking maybe you get a lot more of them nice little silvers.
There, you know what? When you pull them out, and you see it, like I said, it's just I sometimes I wonder how the heck the detector found it. Because they take time to find in your in the hole or in the plug that you dig, and then when you finally dig it, you're like, oh my goodness, it's Queen Victoria. Wonderful to see her.
Very good,
right? It does. It takes a while just because of the fact that they are so small of a target.
Exactly.
Like our half dimes.
Exactly. Yeah. That I would not that I've ever dug one of your half dimes, but I would think that it would be about that size.
Yeah. We got one smaller. We have the XTREME, and I've only found a few of those in my career of them. They just don't come up often.
Those are pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something to be said about the coins of yesteryear compared to the coins of today. They just
yes,
they had more eye appeal.
Yes, in everything. I mean, the silver dollars from back then, everything, the quarters, the dimes, the nickels. You just don't see that anymore.
Right. Although I must admit, I am a bit of a fan for the Canadian maple leafs.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the loonies are neat.
You like the loonies?
Yeah. I've found one or two of them errantly in southern Wisconsin and
really
up here. Yeah.
Have you found a toonie yet? They're actually thinking about making a $5 coin, and I gotta say that you could go out detecting and come home with like $30.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I'm not
over the end. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that over the course of a year, that change does buy a lot of accessories or even a detector.
Yeah.
Yes.
You start getting $5 coins. That's they add up rapidly.
Oh yeah.
Pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like $5 coins. I'd like to see more of the gold $5 pieces.
Well, I think most people do too.
Yeah. So when did you start detecting, Liz?
I started detecting around shortly after I retired from the police department because I needed a hobby. I needed something to do because the job itself was very exciting, and then you go to not doing the job, and it's you got to get some excitement into your daily routine. So I was just watching YouTube one day, and I stumbled on Nugget Noggin detecting. And he was finding stuff, and I thought, you know what, that sounds like something I could do. So that's when it all started, and I had some really, really inexpensive detectors because I really didn't know what was out there. But you know what? From day one, I just started finding stuff. It wasn't that good at the beginning. It was just kind of like rusty stuff, but I thought it was pretty cool that you can dig a hole and you can find stuff. So yeah, the rest is history. I've progressed my way up with detectors. I've tried a lot of different detectors, used a lot of different kinds of detectors, probably every brand there is. And it's a great hobby. I am so glad I stumbled upon it. And I wish I had found detecting a lot sooner in life, but we have no control over that.
No, very cool though.
Mhm.
You buy your stuff from Radio World.
I do now.
There you go. Good friend of mine runs that. So
Oh,
Yeah.
good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah,
And
I've had Jack on the show before.
yep.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm gonna have to do
I've
some
traveled with
Googling.
and I was actually with him out in Virginia, and they were at the time touting the GPX 5000 and just come out, and we were relic hunting with it. And he and I went relic hunting together on a couple fields out there.
Wow.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So,
Jack's a good guy.
yes, he is.
Oh, yeah.
He is. So
we've had some interesting conversations. Jack actually has a relative that lives about 10 miles from here.
Oh. Did not know that.
Yeah. Interesting. It really
Mhm.
was. And most recently, you've been running Nocta machines, and more specifically, the triple score seems like it's doing very well for you.
Yes. Before the triple score, I believe I had the just the regular score. Well, I first started out with the Simplex Ultra. I loved that. Loved that machine. It was just pretty much turn it on, pick a program or a mode, and just get detecting, which I really liked. Very easy, and you know what? It did a ton of success with that machine. And the score came out, just the first score. So I had that one, the original score. I still have that one. I think I'm just going to keep that as my traveling machine when I go on vacation. Take that with me for beach hunting and for in the surf. But then I was using the Legend. I got to use that one quite a bit. And then the triple score came out. So now the Legend is in the corner being very lonely and just, every time I pick up the triple score, the Legend's looking at me like, are you going to take me out today?
there you go. Now, the triple score in your mind better than the Legend?
The Legend just got updated, so I'm not going to say it's better than the Legend.
Okay.
It's got a lot of great features, but I still think that the Legend is is I guess the big brother or big sister of the scores.
I've heard it called the poor man's Equinox, so I don't know. I've sold them, I've used them, and they're very good reacting units, and people like them.
They are very effective. They are very reactive units. Little more user intensive as far as menu navigation than, say, the Score series. But I mean, still, the Scores seem to be very user-friendly machines, very turn on and go for many people. Yes. And you can still get out there just because it appears to be a simpler machine doesn't mean that it's necessarily any weaker in performance, because you can still get out there and make very good finds.
Oh my goodness. And deep and nice. It can I've dug how do I say this? I've dug a lot of good silver. I recently added permission. There were I dug 2 silver rings, and each one of those silver rings was in the hole with a nail, and the triple score found it and got that, discriminated out the nail and found the ring.
Good processor.
Very, very good. And you know what? You can go however technical you want to, or you can, dive deep, like we were talking earlier, with a degree in the machine or whatever. That the triple score can be used by someone who just likes to turn it on, pick a mode, start detecting with very, very, very minute changes that you can make or that you should make if you don't want to. Or you could really, really dial that in. And my goodness, I haven't had the only machine that I can compare it to, which I came from a Knox 600. That would be the only one that I could compare it to, is the Knox 600.
I'm already starting to get you some questions in here. Somebody said, what type of soils in Canada?
Oh my goodness. We don't have that soil that they do in Virginia, that red soil. Yeah. I've never detected in that, but I would think that, it'd be pretty darn hard to detect down there.
Oh, it can be very tough. It takes mostly in some of the areas around that Winchester, Culpeper area, Orange, that strip. You got to use PI to really succeed the most with.
Mm-hmm.
But and I've been to Canada quite a bit, and most of where I've been in Canada, it's rock.
You must have been in the north.
Yeah, in the Shield Lakes
Canadian
area.
Shield, yeah.
Rock
No, most of the farms down here, the ones that I've been detecting on, very sandy soil. It doesn't matter if it's rained or anything like that, because the soil it drains very quickly, and it's beautiful soil to dig in.
Good.
And then in the winter, I usually in the forests or in the woods detecting, and that as soon as you scrape off the leaves, beautiful loamy dirt. So I really don't have problems with acidic soil or anything like that. It's pretty much just turn on the machine with not too much changing of the settings.
Good. Another question popped up here from Janet. Do you have to have permits in local parks?
No. I mean, I started out park detecting is what I did. I would be in the parks. I would be attending parks that they say were hunted out, and I would still be finding stuff. I really am a firm believer that nothing is hunted out. I mean, nobody can cover every single inch, and then you bring a new detector and it's totally opened up the park. But as long as you don't go into a park with a big shovel, dig big holes, make a big fat mess, most people, the parks people, just people in general walking by, nobody says anything. It's not illegal, at least where I am. I know there's some cities that have started to get that you need permits, but not around here.
Well, that's good. That's good. Just keep working the system, teaching people the right way, and fill those holes in and pick up your garbage, and don't get or you'll end up like some of our bigger cities are ending up. They're closing down large areas. So
exactly.
Good. That's good. Keep talking about what you're finding and doing. I'm just watching for questions for you here.
Well, one of the oldest parks in my city, and I consider this a big city. It's not like Toronto or anything, but one of the most hunted out parks that everybody goes to. I'm still finding tokens, railroad tokens, baggage tags from the late 1800s.
Well,
I found a beautiful heel plate with a heart on the heel plate. There's stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, there's stuff to be found. I mean, and another thing, I don't discriminate too much. I never notch. I never notch anything. And if something sounds good, I'll dig it. And I think that's where the success of finding the good stuff comes. I mean, I'm going to dig a lot of garbage too, but I think that's where the good stuff, where the good finds come, because somebody can say, it's hunted out, I'm not going to go dig there. But you know what? There's stuff there.
Well, you hit right on it, really. I mean, because people that start to get a little heavy with the discrimination or put a little too much faith in the numbers, they're gonna miss good targets. It's inevitable, and sure, I mean, it's not like it's some deep dark secret. We all know we're all out there digging trash, but I would much rather spend that time digging 20, 30, 40 pull tabs
Yeah.
in hopes that I don't miss that gold ring.
Exactly. I think some people get far too notchy, discriminated, and it's like I was just reading in the chat here. Barb says that some of her best finds sounded iffy, and sometimes you got to dig those iffy signals.
That's right. And Emery's asking, he wants, what's Canada's most sought after coin in your opinion? And have you ever found one?
I don't think it's a specific coin, but old silver, like sterling silver. Some people just notch their detectors out just up until the silver.
You're cherry picking.
And anything below that, they forget it, because silver is, it seems like that's what a lot of people want. And there's some people, although I'm not knocking it, some people will tell you that, this is my 75th silver coin for the year. I don't keep track of stuff like that. I just like to dig. And if it's a silver coin, then, I'll do my little silver dance and get all excited and maybe, thank the Lord a few times. But
right.
I don't get too hung up on that kind of stuff.
And then what's your bucket list? Dan's asking, who would be your bucket list detecting partner for a day?
Oh, that's a rough one.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, if I would love to dig with, we'll go across the pond. We'll go to England. I'd love to dig with Digger Dawn. I think she would be. I wouldn't have to find anything. Just digging with her would be fantastic.
I met her once at a detective hall.
Did you? Oh, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. As far as
energetic.
Sorry?
She is very energetic.
Yes. Yes, she is. I might even, go digging with her and then maybe spend the evening in a pub, because I hear that she likes to sing after she's had a few.
Well, I don't know.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, just saying. But as far as American, oh my goodness, there's just so many. I'd like to dig with Hoarder. I think he would be a blast. I would love to dig with Aquajigger. Yeah, I'd like to dig with Aquajigger, and I'd like to dig with Gypsy.
There you go. I met them all. Pretty good friends with Chig. And then I've hunted actually with Jason. And nice guy. Very nice guy. Him and Doug, I've had a lot of fun with. They come to our hunts in the area here, and good time. Good guys. And maybe you'll get that chance.
I hope so. But, as far as Canada goes, I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but Pioneer Polly, who's like Mr. Gold Prospector of Canada. I would love to dig with him. That to me would just be incredible to do.
Right.
That if he's Canada's gold prospector, that sounds like that's right down Chuck's alley.
Pioneer Polly is his name.
I'll have to look him up and check him out. There's so many, and I have so little time, and sometimes. But I've been fortunate and blessed. I've went out with some of the best, and people met them, but some of them go back into the 70s, like Jimmy Sierra, and some of those boys back then I got to meet and hang out with, and I learned a lot from some of these gentlemen back then, and but the new wave of YouTubers, and that kind of stuff, and I've gotten to know quite a few of those. Pretty good people.
There's there's so many. I look at the names in the chat. I'd love to dig with you all, to be quite honest.
Well, get on your 4-wheeler and drive down.
Road trip.
Yep.
It takes a lot of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of these folks on the chat here, I've had the great opportunity to go out with and spend time with and eat, and we went to different hunts across the United States, and I've met quite a few in England even. It's a lot of fun, and you learn from what they have to teach you also. So I'm always open to that.
Exactly. Because everybody has something that they can teach you. Doesn't matter what it is. It's something that you'll pick up a nugget digging with any person that you dig with.
Yeah, and I like to get out and do it. And Josh and I have known each other for quite a while, and we've met up at different hunts across the country. And Barb and Dawn and Shelly, had a lot of fun with them too down in Florida, and I've met and hunted with a lot of them at the hunts, and it's a lot of fun, and that is a big plus to our hobby.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Out there meeting people and traveling a little bit and having a good time.
Exactly.
Yeah, the friendships that we form, the connections that we make, the people that we meet, whether it's in the chats of live streams or in person at events, it's priceless. The finds, they may come and go, but the memories last forever.
And when you go to an event, you have all these preconceived notions because you've just known the person watching their videos, and then you go to an event and they're standing right there. Like I remember when I went to Pound the Ground. This was years ago, and
that's been a while.
It is. And I saw Brad from Green Mountain Metal Detecting standing there, and I'm like, oh my God, that's Brad. I did not have the nerve. I got to tell you, I did not have the nerve to go up to him and to say, hi, I'm Liz from Canada, because I was just so, I don't know. It just seemed greater than normal because I watched him on TV, on YouTube. Right. And I'm just, I wish I would have gone up to him and said hello. But
right, yeah, and many times you find out they're no different people are
doing our hobby. They're doing the same thing we are. Don't ever be afraid to go up and say hi to them. They have things that they'll learn from you, and you can learn from them and have a good time. And that's all part of this hobby is the great people in it, because there's a lot of people forget one thing. It's a hobby, and we're supposed to be having a good time, not arguing on Facebook.
Oh, you have to there's no room in metal detecting or treasure hunting or whatever you're doing for drama, because you know what? Life's too short for drama. We all like to find treasure. Let's embrace that. And you know what? I don't care what your political affiliation is, what religion you are, or anything like that. We all dig, and that's the main thing.
Right.
Amen. I couldn't have put it better.
So, but up in Canada, the hunting seems to be pretty good. Now, what particular part of Canada do you hunt in the most? Down around?
I detect in Southern Ontario. So where I am about 1 hour west of Buffalo.
Aha.
So like Niagara Falls is a short drive for me. I mean, going to, like I said, Buffalo, it's about an hour's drive. So I live in a pretty good area, not super duper historic like some of the people up in Kingston would be digging, but there's places around here. We have an 1812 battlefield in my town. I mean, it's off limits, but there's still history here. And if the troops and stuff were there, they camped somewhere else other than the battlefield, and they marched as well. So
extensively,
yeah. So you just have to do some research.
I'm fond of Ontario. Yeah, I've been up in Ontario.
There are finds to be made tied to 1812.
Yeah.
In areas that aren't protected, that you can still find those pieces of history.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's see. The farthest west Battle of 1812 is about 8 miles from me on the Mississippi River. So they had, that covered a lot of ground for being as sparsely populated as it was.
Yeah. I mean, I've dug I've dug 2 relics from the local, like, I wasn't digging in the battlefield, not at all, we don't do that. But, at one time, I was digging just, east of the battlefield in the trail system, which is public,
Mhm.
and I actually dug a musket ball, big 69 caliber musket ball, which was actually authenticated by, the museum that we have here at the battlefield.
Very cool.
So, I
Nice.
mean, that was something that, I didn't attend the battlefield, but I still was able to find something from the battle. And I also dug, it is the opposite end of town. I actually dug a badge that was, originated from a British cavalry unit who fought in India, won the battle in India, came to Canada to fight in the War of 1812, and then were, somehow this badge I dug this badge in it's not even a park. Let's call it a field, a very boggy field. And this thing was it was about a foot, it was over a foot deep, very boggy soil, about a foot deep. I almost gave up on this thing a few times, but just, it sounded good. And I'm like, no, just keep digging. So I dug it. And when I pulled it out and cleaned some of the dirt off, there was an elephant on the badge.
Cool.
Now I knew
Very
we don't have
cool.
elephants in Canada other than at the zoo. So I knew this had to be really, really special. So anyways, I did my research and that's what I found. So somehow this badge got from the encampments that we had on one part of our town to the actual battlefield on the opposite side of town. So I kind of dug it in between. So I don't know if there was somebody sending messages on horseback or
Mhm.
what it was, but I mean, we can only think about what happened. And I think that is part of what makes treasure hunting or metal detecting, whatever you want to call it, very, very special, because we can think about what happened. We can also do some research about what happened. And just to hold something in your hand that's over 200 years old, that's been in the dirt for 200 years, is an absolute privilege on the planet. It's a
Yeah,
privilege.
and get to learn a little bit about the history along the way, possibly, not to mention
Yes.
some of these items that we find, if they could talk, wow, the stories.
Yeah, Mr. Elon Musk needs to develop some something that we could just place the relic in there and it'll tell us what happened.
There you go.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah, that would be
Tell
great.
Elon to do that. If we worked on him, he might come up with the best detector we ever had.
You never know. You never know.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And very recently, actually, like within the past week or so, you actually had the privilege of finding your very first date. And boy, did that
I'm
look good.
I'm sorry, you cut out. You cut out on my end.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, Josh. We're
Oh,
losing you, buddy.
Yeah, I didn't get any of that. Can you say that
I
again,
imagine that.
please?
You had found your very first dandy button.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a very old property. It goes back to 1823.
Oh,
Really old property. The family's been there since like the 1823s. And the field itself, see, I have vertigo and I have a difficult time digging on like uneven ground. So this field
Ah,
had recently been plowed and it hadn't been leveled out yet. I don't know what they call that when they level it out and make it really, really flat. So it was like this, right? So you can tell where the plow went through. So when I got there to the field, I'm like, oh, this isn't going to be very good because I can't really detect on that because I get all wobbly because of my vertigo. So anyways, I was detecting on the field beside it, which was flat, but there was nothing there. So about after an hour and a half, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to the other field. So I thought I'd go up and down the rows, which as opposed to perpendicular on the rows where I would be like feeling this, I went up and down the rows because I thought at least that's somewhat level. So anyway, so yeah, I dug a dandy button and I'm like, holy smokes. Never did I ever think I would dig a dandy button. My goodness. I loved it. Love it. Absolutely love it.
You need to go across the pond. If you want to find buttons, and Tim on here, Illinois Digger, will back me up. You can find buttons there.
I hear that the British people don't like digging buttons. They don't like
They
it.
put them in the ditch.
Oh my goodness.
Unless they're a fancy button.
Oh my gosh.
This trip, 3 or 4 of the War of 1812 artillery British buttons that had the 3 cannons on them were found, and 2 of them were still gilded, really nice.
Wow.
So yeah, that's cool. But man, buttons, and you got to dig them, as you were talking before. You know, we're the last sense of discrimination. Do I want to dig that, or is that junk? Well,
Yeah.
you dig a lot more stuff.
Yes.
And, but get your chance to go to England, you'll come home with bags of buttons.
Oh, I would welcome that. I really, really would. Oh my goodness. I get excited when I dig buttons here. I mean, like, really.
So, and you go over there, and Tim's talking about it now on there. Oh, geez, buttons and lead are everywhere. You'll dig musket balls, field, lead that they melted, lead bale seals, lead tacks, lead this and that. They like their lead in England in the day. So, but it sounds like you're onto some things up around your neck of the woods and finding good stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Emery Hetherington asks a question. Can you describe your best day ever detecting?
Oh my. Probably in my second year or so, I was out detecting with some friends, and I dug 3, not all in the same hole, but I dug 3 silver Canadian quarters within about within about 2 square feet. And I was still new to detecting. I mean, like I said, I think this was my second year. But wow, let me tell you something. First one, and then I just, I learned that when you find something, you kind of spiral out from where you found. If it's really good, spiral out. So I did that, and then I had the first one, the first quarter. I think I dug all 3. I think I dug all 3 monarchs that day. It was King. Wasn't a Victoria. I dug Edward, and then the two. Oh my goodness, King George's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
Get silver. Always good.
Yes, it's always nice to see silver.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a great day to me.
Yeah. And like I said, that was early on. And, you kind of think, oh my goodness, is that what detecting is going to be like every day? No, it's not.
No, it's not. Everybody thinks we get out there and we're finding all this rich stuff and getting rich on it.
Mm-hmm.
We have it. We have lead, aluminum.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Aluminum. Yeah.
Iron, and occasionally a couple good coins come up. Occasionally.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of days that I don't get a bit. Usually I will go out and whatever I dig that day will be a video. So, good stuff and bad stuff. But if I don't find anything at all, there's no video. There's no video at that time.
Good.
So you like to keep it realistic and
Yes.
show the good with the bad.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I get excited when I dig a horseshoe, for crying out loud. And I learned that there's different kinds of horseshoes. There's like winter horseshoes. There's for like draft horses horseshoes, and there's for like, pretty horses horseshoes. It is just, I love it. I love it. I have all my horseshoes. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I have them all.
Daniel McDonald on there. Liz, any door knocking permission tips?
Oh, I've never knocked on doors, but when I attend events, I am like talking up a storm to anybody that stops at my table. And the last time that I was at an author's event here locally in City Park, I actually met a lady And we started talking about her property, and I've been detecting there, I think 4 times already. I kind of go every week. And 1876 property. It's where I found the 2 silver rings. So you never know.
Right.
Just, you know
Very
what?
nice.
I can't bring myself to go knock on people's doors. But if you stop at my booth, I'll chat with you for sure.
Right. Here's another one for you, Liz. Do you ever dig in kind of sketchy neighborhoods that have parks that you know have great finds, but
Yeah.
homeless are hanging around just a little too much?
Yeah, there's one park in the inner city that it's just covered in graffiti. There's graffiti everywhere. Yeah, that's a sketchy park, and I just I don't have a gun, or I don't have any weapons, because we can't have weapons here in Canada. So I prefer not to go to those places by myself.
Probably wise.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't have anything that I can pull out of a pocket or anything, just in case. Sometimes you just have to think about where you are, and an exit plan and that sort of thing. But I mean, if I'm out in the woods and push comes to shove, my shovel is a weapon, so I can use that.
Whack them with it. There you
Oh,
go.
for sure.
There you
Yeah.
go. A lot of
Yeah,
good questions been popping up. I'll keep an eye on that there.
Yeah, and I can't say for sure, but I believe that could possibly have came from well, the question about the permissions may have came from Popcan Dan.
Oh, is he here?
I'm not sure.
That's another person I'd love to
Yeah,
deal with.
Daniel. I have to go back up a little bit. Daniel McDonald.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that's Popcan Dan.
It
From Canada.
is. It is. Yes. I've met him at chit-chatted at a few events, but I've never detected with him. And I told him the other day that I need to dig with him before I pack in the hobby, for sure.
There you go, Daniel. You got a dig there, dude.
Hopefully there's no plans of packing in the hobby anytime soon.
Not that I'm aware of.
Good.
Oh,
Not that I'm aware of.
he says he's guilty as charged, Liz.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He is. He's a good guy.
Cool.
He's been discovered. We know who he is.
There you go.
Good
Do you
stuff.
ever do any beaches? You ever go to lakes? Now, Canada being full of lakes, and I ran around on the Northern Shield. I met my wife in northern Minnesota, right on the Canada-U.S. border,
Mhm.
and worked with a flying service out of War Road, Minnesota, and I love Lake of the Woods and the Northern Shield up there, and all the Shield lakes. But some of them had some great beaches on them. They did get a lot of use, believe it or not. Although the water is cool, do you beach hunt?
I usually beach hunt when I go on vacation.
And you go,
We go a lot to the Eastern Canada. Yeah, I love Prince Edward Island. They have red sand there, red sand, red dirt, red potatoes. I absolutely love Prince Edward Island. I usually take my detector when I go there. I have not done too much detecting into fresh. I mean, we have hundreds, maybe thousands of lakes in Ontario. I've not done any detecting in the water here. Sorry, but I haven't. But I do enjoy beach detecting when I'm on vacation, and I hope to bring my detector down with me for Christmas. We're going to spend Christmas holidays in the Panhandle in Florida at a state park there. So I'm hoping that I will get permission to detect there.
there you go.
Yeah.
There are places down in Florida that are open. Others are closed.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
In parks, as you get further south, they're closing them down, not because of people getting a lot of stuff. They're going in. They have the buried sprinkler systems, heads, and they pop up, and they've cut a lot of them. They're getting pretty pricey to replace them. They cut it down park just for that reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I would just be happy to detect on the beach and the sand. I have no intention of detecting on the grass down there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, hopefully you make some nice finds while you're there.
Well, you know what? It'll just be nice to get out of the cold. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, true enough. I can understand
Hey,
that.
I feel like I'm arranging a hunt here. Daniel says he's got a permission this weekend, Liz.
Oh.
Wants to know if you want to do a road trip this Saturday.
Are you the middleman? Are
I
you getting
guess,
are you getting paid for this?
Sitting there going, well, I better say something about her. Daniel be mad.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
So,
That's funny.
but with all the hunting that you've done and you found certain areas, what is the favorite find of all you've ever made? You go back and do it again. You want to do it again.
That badge with the elephant on it was a great find.
Yeah.
I that is great. Recently I actually dug a kettle point from the fur trade.
Oh, very
Um,
cool.
yeah,
Very good.
yeah, I dug that. I had absolutely no idea the significance of you know of it when I dug it. I knew it was an arrow tip, but I had no idea of the historic value of it. I thought it was just an arrow tip from somebody was doing target practice or whatever in the woods, and here I found it. But my goodness, got to tell you, when to find out that it was from the fur trade, you know what? It just ignites that light in me again. It's just
it gets you fired up. I found
yes, it does.
The fur trade was big along the Mississippi River. They would come down the major rendezvous point for Ontario and places like that. They all converged in Wisconsin to Prairie du Chien. Prairie du Chien, this is 1600 stuff. And there's been some major finds in that area too of just what you're talking about, fur trade stuff. So that's cool.
And you know what? Once again, it did some history or did some research, found out what it was, because they don't teach that kind of stuff in school anymore.
No.
And that's too bad.
Nope.
It is.
They're not
really
a lot of stuff in the schools. It's not good.
Yeah.
Move forward.
You did better than what a lot of people did, because I've seen some people find those kettle points where they just think it's a piece of trash.
Yeah, you know what? I've heard stories. Never throw unless it's like a pull tab. The pull tab is a pull tab. It wasn't, from the fur trade.
Right.
But never empty your junk pouch on the field. Take everything home and just go through it, because you just never know.
In England, you take that pouch in and you go through everything, clean it, because sometimes things come up and you're looking at it, go, oh, what is that? But you put it in the pouch, take and clean it. And some finds are not, they dug them in the field, but the true find is after they clean it, going, oh my God, I didn't realize what I had.
Exactly. Or, if you have a piece of something kind of thing, hold on to it.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of times we get it out of the ground in the field, especially like you were saying, if it's in a boggy area, it may not resemble anything necessarily right at that point.
Yeah.
But then when you get it home and look at it again, suddenly it starts to resemble something other than trash. And you're like, oh my God, I'm glad I got a hold of this.
Exactly. I guarantee you that far too many relics, like goods things, have been thrown into the garbage because the people didn't know what they were.
Illinois Digger, Tim, he's asking the copper culture items appear in your area, like float copper.
Yes, they do. Just north of me. Yes, they do. There's a lot of area that was frequented by First Nations people. And I mean, they might be, in the woods or that kind of thing, or kind of inaccessible, but if you make an effort to get out there, you're rewarded with good stuff.
Good. Good. There you go, Tim. Let's see. Rolled aluminum versus silver cut coins. You are right. But the whole gist of it is you've got out, you met friends or met people that become friends for a long time, and it's a hobby that kind of keeps you fit. You're walking, you're out, and you're getting to trade ideas and trade. Look what I found with each other. It's a lot of fun to the hunt, and that is a huge social event, and get some side hunting in, and that's the whole part of it. And it's a good hobby.
It is. And you know what? I could be having the crappiest day on earth metal detecting, and I mean like really, really crappy.
I've had a few.
But if my friend finds something, I just get all excited about it. And it's, you know, it doesn't matter that I didn't dig it. It's just a find, and it's a great find, and I can appreciate that, and life is good.
Well, I feel the same way.
In memory.
That's right. Customers have come to me, and I've helped them and got them going. And I always tell them, I'm telling you stuff that I've learned over many years because I want you to succeed and do better than I have. And that's what I tell them.
Yes. Yes.
I always like that when they do.
There's some funny comments in the chat. I just want to say.
Oh, Kojo, she tells girls that metal detection is a good way to meet a man. Okay.
Am I wrong?
Barb has one there. You've got to read that. I'm going to leave that alone. She don't need a man anymore. Anyway.
I tell you, the metal detecting community is a great bunch of people. And you know what? If there are bad people in the community, they kind of get filtered out because word of mouth travels and people know who the bad people are.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Good news spreads, bad news spreads like wildfire.
Yes, this is true. This is true.
Right. We try to Josh and I have the same views of it. It's a hobby. We try to support, enhance, and make it grow, and not get into any of these crazy matches that pop up. We just let that go away and want to talk to like-minded people, and you're right in there with us and all whole group. We got a great bunch of folks.
Exactly.
No time for the drama.
Nope.
Exactly.
No time.
Yeah, there's no time for that.
And for the most part, generally, the detecting community is a very giving, friendly community as well. And they do many good things that a lot of times they don't even necessarily get the credit for it. They're not looking for the credit for it, but there are good things being done. I mean,
yes,
a good example, I wish I could remember the gentleman's name right offhand now, but I know you've done this before too, where you've taken your basically like Canada's form of clad coins and counted up your total for the year of what you had found metal detecting and then donated that to St. Jude's.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness. There is a detectorist in Detroit who I don't know what month of the year is it, but one month he everything he finds, he'll even if he finds a like a license plate or trash, he'll say, okay, that's going to be $5 for St. Jude's. And at the end of the month, he donates, he adds everything up, makes a donation to St. Jude's. So was it last year? I think last year. I thought, you know what? I'm going to do that too. All the clad that I find this month is going to St. Jude's. I didn't find that much, but I kind of topped it up to make it a bit more presentable. But yeah,
Hey,
you know, and there's a lot of people that you don't hear about them doing that kind of stuff because they're all behind the scenes, you know, anonymously kind of thing. But yeah, the community, when it needs to come together, it does come together, and it can do amazing things.
Yeah. I mean, really, like you said, when it needs to come together, it does. And at that point, they can literally move mountains.
Yeah.
Well, let's
And
see. I
it's
don't have anything fresh here for you. Keep going, Josh. I'm watching.
well, maybe now might be a good time to let everybody know if they'd like to get themselves in the running for a giveaway. We can do that.
That's
Sure.
right. Discuss that anyway. Yeah.
What I decided to give away is a 1967 mint. Never, as I from my live streams, I would always say, never touched by human hands. Mint uncirculated. You probably
Oh, sweet.
there it is. Mint uncirculated Canadian silver dime. It's the one with the mackerel on the back. Now, I gotta just say, growing up, I thought that this mackerel was a whale, kind of viewed from top view, like you were looking down and the whale was kind of swimming by. And I swore that it was a whale until somebody actually on one of my live streams said, no, that's not a whale, Liz. It's a mackerel. Yeah, it's a mackerel. So this is a 1967 silver dime. It's either 80% silver or 50% silver. I don't know what it is. So it's either 80% or 50% because they made both for 1967.
Oh.
So it is silver. It's either 80% or it is 50%. I don't know. And I got some stickers.
Okay.
I got some stickers. So you get.
Oh, there you go. Digging Canuck.
There you go. You got a couple stickers and and the silver dime. And I don't care where you live, where you're watching from. I'll ship it to you. If they pick your name or if the machine or whatever picks your name, I'll send it to you. Not a problem.
All right. So we'll let everybody have a chance at that. All you've got to do is enter in the chat #Liz.
Oh.
Jason, you're a little too quick there, buddy, with a number. It's #Liz. He threw 35 in there, Josh.
#Liz. I don't care where you live. If your name gets picked, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, we'll give them a couple of minutes to run at that and see what happens.
Absolutely. I gotta say that one American coin which I would love to dig up, and I'm sure I have a chance in Canada to dig this up that I've never dug, and that I think is really, really nice, is a mercury dime. I would love to dig a mercury dime. I know it's not a big deal of a coin, but I just like the winged liberty on the front. Haven't dug one.
They do have a lot of eye appeal.
They are coin, and for many of us that detect throughout the Midwest, our most found piece of silver is a mercury dime.
Well, I'd like to dig one in Canada.
And I'm quite sure up along the border towns, there's going to be a merc in there somewhere.
I'll tell you something. When I do, you'll probably hear me screaming from up here.
Okay.
Well, and Liz has had plenty of opportunity to hunt on both sides of the border, so her odds are good. She may find one.
I'll tell you what, Josh, that brought all the listeners out. Johnny Pop Top. Oh, Travis is in there. Nicky.
Hey,
not putting anything up. So you got more there. Yeah. Code Joe, I'm right. Once in a while, an old man finds a bone. There you go. So Jim Bacorn says you're gonna find one, Liz. You will.
Oh, fingers crossed. It's been, I've been detecting. Oh my goodness, for sure. Well, my first video was in 2016. I was detecting before that, but my first video was in 2016. Mm-hmm. So how many years is that? Was that 4? Is that 8 years? 8 years on YouTube? Is that right? 8 years on YouTube? Yeah. Yeah. Pretty close. And I still have not found a merc. I need to find a merc. Really, I do.
And there's people down here want to find your fish scales. So, it's we're a long ways apart, but we're not that far. And but I found Bank of Canada tokens here. I found the 88 Canadian dime. I can't remember the dates of the fish scales. They were in the teens, and that's all here. But that's along the river. People traveled up and down a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've found the silver Canadian quarters, silver Canadian dimes. I've even found the Canadian large cents
Yeah,
down
those are
here.
nice. Those are nice. Those are really nice.
They
Actually,
are. They're
the very
cool.
first large cent I ever dug was in with a friend on a friend's permission. My first year of detecting, and it was an American large cent, 1837.
Nice.
Yeah,
Not
nice. And you know what?
yeah.
I was so green, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what a large cent was. And I saw that as I cleaned the dirt with my finger, I saw the word liberty. And I'm like, oh my God, it says liberty. And I was so excited. It wasn't even funny. I mean, 1837. I couldn't believe that I was digging a coin that old.
That's, you go over, we get into the older coins in our particular area, and you start hitting back in the mid 1800s. And if you break into the 1700s, over in England, the greenies that are 1700 and up, the people are like, I don't want these. And I'm like, why not?
It's all relative.
Yeah,
it really is.
Roman and Celtic and Bronze Age and Iron Age and all that stuff.
Yeah. And then their fibulas and that. I didn't even know what a fibula was until I started watching them detect.
Yes, and I found another one this year, and I've been there.
Wow.
I've been in England 3 times, and
crazy.
Oh yeah, and they broke. A lot of them were broken at 2/3.
Wow, crazy.
Joe's right. Just keep looking. You'll find it. It'll show up sooner or later under the coil.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kojo, I found the eagle cents, flying eagle cent.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the flying eagle cents, they throw people for a little bit of a loop sometimes because it doesn't ring up like you would expect one to.
No, they're about 80% nickel.
Mm-hmm.
And they just sound different, and they come up with different numbers on almost every machine. So,
if it's a good signal, it's a good solid signal, and the numbers aren't like flying around too much, then yeah, I mean, dig it. Absolutely dig it.
If it's repeatable, go after it.
Exactly.
And we do have a winner. So I guess everyone can give a round of congratulations to Bill Hayes.
Hey, William.
Congratulations, Bill. Right on. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to, if that's okay with you two, I'm just going to put my email address in the chat. And then, actually, how are we going to do this? How am I going to get Bill's address? How about can you send you guys an email and then send it to me or something? How do you want to do that?
He can send it to me on Facebook, and I can send it on to you.
Okay.
Go.
That works.
Bill's on Facebook, and if I dig through my message history, I'm sure I've got his mailing address, but it's just simpler if he sends it to me again.
Good stuff. I'll pop that in the mail this week.
Very cool.
Wow.
Very cool. Thank you.
Very, very gracious of you, Liz.
Thank you very much.
You know what? I am a proponent that everybody on the planet should actually have a Canadian coin. So there you go. And you know what, Bill? I'll probably put some other things in the envelope just to get it up to the weight where the weight cuts off. So I'll throw some more stuff in there for you.
There you go. I found most of my Canadian coins on that change machine. I'll reach back there, and there's always a Canadian penny it spits out.
You mean like a clad Canadian, like the stuff from now? Yeah. Sorry.
I have actually found a number of silver Canadian dimes that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Set them out too. Coin
Very
Star.
nice.
There's a Coin Star in Clinton that I'll walk by. Always check the change thing. Once in a while, there's a couple pennies or whatever in a Bitcoin. They'll be Canadians.
Now, does Jill always roll her eyes at you when you do that?
Yep. Yes, she does. But you know what? I've caught her walking over ahead of me, checking it, going, aha, look what I got.
Oh.
Yeah, because I beat her to it.
And many times there's different forms of treasure hunting and everything.
That's right.
Do you have other forms of treasure hunting that you like to do other than detecting? Like, do you bottle dig? Do you coin roll hunt, or even coin stars, if that's a thing?
Yeah, I've gone bottle digging quite a few times. I've gone with some friends bottle digging. I actually went with a friend I crossed the border. She was in like Erie, is it Erie, Pennsylvania? I guess Erie. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I had to go to Niagara Falls and then kind of like whip around the lake to meet her. And we actually went to a farm, I guess a farm dump on a farm. And I dug some very old, complete mason jars, like the blue tint mason jar that has, that wire bale that goes over to hold the thing. Yeah, I found 2 of those on the same day. Really nice.
That blue.
That's nice. I do get excited about bottles and marbles, especially in dumps. I think those are great.
There you go.
Yeah, and I used to do some. I used to do some coin roll hunting as well. A good way to get silver. Yeah, did some of that.
To much success?
To little success. There's actually a program or a place in Canada that all the change goes to, and then they take out the silver and the good stuff, and then they just put the other stuff back into circulation. So I was going through like boxes of dimes, not finding anything, and I finally gave up. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore.
There's still a lot of coin roll going on here.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow, you're lucky. You're lucky.
You got to hit them at the bank coming in and out.
Yeah.
And a lot of times there's people bringing change in rolled up, and you're buying. They don't send it out; they put it back, and sometimes you're getting some rolls of halves and quarters that have silver in it, or some. There's been a rare case to do all.
Yeah, I actually started going to like the small towns that had very high population of retirees. Those banks, and
there you go.
I got a couple silver, but it didn't justify, having to go there, get it, and then come back and then roll everything up, take it to another place. It just wasn't worth it for me. So I stopped doing that.
More work is worth.
Yeah.
And
when
you do come across the border to hunt in the States, have like on your way back home, crossing back over the border with declaring anything or any sort of issue like that?
No, I actually twice I've crossed, once from Pound the Ground, and they didn't care. I said, do you, where are you coming from? Blah, blah, blah. Where you been? Blah, blah, blah. I said, I went to a dig. I said, do you care that I got some silver coins with me? They're like, no, have a good day. I'm like, okay. But I got to tell you, the one time I went bottle digging with my friend that I said I met in Erie and I came across, I must have had 4 or 5 5-gallon containers, pails full of bottles. And I told the guy, the guy was having trouble. He was French Canadian. Not that has anything to do with this story, but he was having a hard time understanding A, why I would dig bottles, and B, why I was actually bringing them back to Canada. And then he asked me if I cleaned the bottles. I said, well, no, they're still dirty. And he goes, oh. And then as soon as he said that, he started writing something out, calling a few people. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm getting in trouble. So it turns out that
what did I just do?
He got me for bringing dirt. He got me for bringing dirt, American dirt, across the border. So I had to go to secondary inspection. They checked out the back of my truck, and then they determined that I didn't bring enough dirt back to Canada, so I could go home. But it was dirt.
That's amazing.
Yeah, crazy. I'm like, I'll never do that again. I'm never going bottle taking in the States. And well, I might go, but I just won't bring this stuff back because that was. I thought I was going to have like 5 people just coming, coming to my truck. I'm like, oh my goodness.
We crossed.
You just have to remember and clean them before you cross the border.
Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
I've got stories. You can't bring worms from the United States in.
I guess it was
unless you've been in what they call bus bedding, which is newspaper bedding. Then you can bring them in. You're not to bring minnows in that may have been caught in the same lake that you're going on the other side to fish in.
I've heard that. Yes.
Orange peels. I got stopped at we're coming out of Canada into the U.S. We had some oranges left over. We were up there a week. Orange peel in the tray in the truck, and that was considered contraband because it came from Canada. And I told them we bought the oranges in the United States.
Exactly. We don't grow oranges in Canada.
No. And I just looked at the guy and he goes, yeah, but I've got contraband here. And I said, whatever.
So, sometimes those border people act like, you're I don't know, you've just committed a huge crime, against humanity or something, and it's like a tomato, or in your case it was orange peels, or in my case it was a little bit of dirt on some bottles.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid you've got some dirt in the back of your truck.
And I admitted it. I wasn't trying to smuggle anything, but
that's just crazy. I mean, I've heard a lot of different stories, but that's the first time I've heard of an incident like that. So that was well worth the question and story right there.
Yeah, it was almost an international incident over some dirt.
Yeah, Tim's also stating that if you're going through TSA in the United Kingdom, they're picky about dirt being in your luggage coming in. The dirt, if it's dirty. Well, what are we carrying? If you didn't get your detector all the way clean, there might be some dirt in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. I guess got to make sure you clean those boots off before you pack them up.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Really?
So, yeah.
Crazy.
Yes, it just goes to show some regions are very particular sometimes.
Oh, yes, they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yes, they are.
Yeah. But you know what? As long as you're not like if you're forthright about stuff, if you're trying to be a shyster about it, well, then your goose is cooked.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I mean, if you act like you're trying to hide something, then automatically they're going to look because their guard is up. Okay, what are they really up to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I even had the American like crossing from Canada into the border, and I said I was going to shoot a video, and they said, "Are you going to be editing that video in the United States?" I'm like, no, because I guess if I was editing, it would be like work, so I'd be working without a permit in the United States. So, so I said, no, I'm not. I'll edit it when I get back home. Yeah. Craziness.
Wow.
Yeah.
They get pretty picky.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and many times people are just crossing the border looking to have a good time.
Yeah.
Coming back on the first trip I made to England, I went to a detective hall. I hunted around 1490 Castle, had a blast. Coming back through, I got stopped got a 10% search. In other words, that was part of the 10% they search daily. Going through and looking at stuff. She's asking me questions. What were you doing in England? I was on I explained to her with a company, and we were at detective hall. I was metal detecting. What did you find? And I was explaining the finds. She said, where are they at? I said, they're in the pass hands. It's in the guy's hands that tell me I can keep them or not. They'll send them to me if I can. You brought nothing else back with you? No, I did not bring anything I found or anything else back with me. And they're going through the baggage. I mean, he's just rumbling around, and the coils were in there in the lower shafts, and then the other units were carry on because of lithium batteries, and they're literally going through stuff. And he just shoves it down the side there. And I guess he didn't like detectorists. I just didn't get along with that guy at all.
Wanted to make sure you weren't transporting any dirt.
That's right. I had to repack the thing. That's the one time coming back in. That was a U.S. guy. What was I doing? Where were you at? All this.
Yeah.
At least he didn't have any issues understanding your accent, Chuck.
I just had that the other night. I was talking to a lady in Canada, even, and she couldn't understand my accent.
You don't have an accent.
That's what my guys and I thought when I was talking with her. We were on a call, and the emergency number went into Canada, and I had to talk. She couldn't understand my accent.
Wow. Wow.
That was a new one in the book. But
right. Sometimes people never seem to cease to be surprised.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
grief, I just realized.
Pop it up in there for me. If anybody got anything else for Liz here, pop it up on there for me.
Yeah. And while we're waiting to see if they have any last questions, is there anything that you would like to plug, Liz? I mean, we've got the link for your YouTube channel in the description.
If you haven't checked me out on YouTube, please do. If you like what you see, maybe think about subscribing. I keep it real. I show you the good stuff. I show you the not so good stuff. I've never planted anything, never would. Pleasure to be here. Oh my goodness. And like I said earlier, I would absolutely love to dig with everybody in that chat. So maybe one day we can.
We can get sometimes close, detecting the Heartland and Illinois, Iowa hunts and Chicago Big Fest. They put on pretty good ones, and they're great to go to. And you might find your first Merc there.
I might. You'd know about
it. Nothing wrong with that at all. Did you see any last questions, Chuck?
Joe, I'm not asking that question.
Like I said, funny. There's some funny comments in there.
I saw that.
Right.
Oh my god. Am I blushing?
Yeah. There you go. So, well, Josh, that flew by, didn't it?
Yeah, and then some. I mean, we're keeping her, burning the midnight oil here.
Oh my goodness.
But I would like to take the opportunity to say thank you once again for taking the time to sit down with us tonight, Liz. It's been a pleasure.
Like I said, the pleasure is absolutely mine. And like I said, I felt like I was like talking to royalty tonight with you two, sharing the screen with me. I do appreciate that. I appreciate you, everything that you do. I know that putting on a podcast and a live stream is a lot of work. So kudos to both of you. And yeah.
Well, he's IT and technical, and I just watch for questions. And there is one more for you. Do you partake in any of the big metal detector clubs in Canada?
I was a member. Well, I'm actually still a member, a paid member of my local metal detecting club. But it's just hard to go out to the meetings and partake in a lot of the stuff. Sometimes life gets very, very busy. And there's only so many hours in the day, and I try to do what I can.
There you go.
Yeah.
Understood. You got no idea, trust me. But thanks for being on with us, and Josh set it up, and we'll catch you on YouTube, I hope, and maybe catch you at a hunt down here. And if we can get the info to you, we'd be glad to see you show up in the great Midwest.
Absolutely. I would absolutely.
Where we don't have accents.
Right.
Right on.
Well, thank you once again, Liz. You have a wonderful evening, and I will message you Bill's mailing information when I get that.
And thank you for the giveaway. That was fun.
Oh, I'm happy to do that. Happy to do that.
All righty. Well, Josh, thanks for having me.
Night,
Great.
Liz.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good hunting. Find a bucket lister.
Yeah, hopefully they can get out there, and I mean, the weather's starting to turn.
Boy, quickly. My goodness. It got pretty cool today, but we had a great pancake breakfast at the firehouse. Served a lot of hash. It was a good day, but it started out with a 1050 PI minutes before we were supposed to be there, so that got us all up a lot earlier.
Oh, my.
Yeah, he's all right. Well, he's sitting in county right now, second OMVI in a year. So have a good one. Talk to you later.
We'll see you, Chuck.
Bye-bye.
And then there was one. So, once again, a big thanks, and definitely Liz, Digging Canuck from Canada. Check out her YouTube channel if you haven't already. Very good job, and it does sound like she may be fixing to start her live stream up again in the near future. So, you folks that have seen her live streams before, you may want to keep an eye out for that and see what goes on. She does put on a very good live stream. And a big thanks once again for her generosity in the contest, and a big congratulations to Bill Hayes. Message me your shipping information. I can get that on to Liz for you. And congratulations to you on your win. Not sure if Mike Boyles was in the chat today or not, but if he was, happy birthday to Michael. Hopefully he's had a good day. For us, I think we've had a good show. It's been a good night. We'll see each and every one of you on the next one. Have a wonderful evening, folks. We're out of here.
We sure are glad you found us here tonight. Thanks for dropping by and joining in. If you like metal detecting, treasure hunting, gold prospecting, or even entertaining discussion, check us out Wednesdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern, on your favorite podcast distribution services.